Streaming from Oklahoma's own digital studio, this is OU Football Update, brought to you by Brahms.
All right, hi everybody. It's time for a Sooner Update Pod, our midweek edition here on Oklahoma's own sports. Toby, Rowland with you. I got my buddy C. Willie, Chris Williams with me today. It is OU Ole Miss week, and we've just had the Brent Venables midweek press conference. Chris, as always, attends. First off, how you doing, Chris?
I'm doing well. I mean, Toby, top 15 matchup at home again. It feels like we've been on the road forever for some reason.
Yeah.
It's a good week.
No, I'm
Plus,
excited to be.
Little celebration with the Thunder downtown too. I mean, that wasn't bad either.
Yeah. It's these are big time sports days in our tiny little flyover state of Oklahoma. We got a lot going on. No, I'm excited. It feels like it's been a long time since we have been at the Palace, and so excited to see Owen Field again and a big time football game coming up on Saturday at 11 a.m. Let me start here before we get into the press conference stuff, because you sent me on Monday Lane Kiffin's press conference remarks about Brent Venables. Brent Venables responded on his coach's show on Monday night. I don't think he was asked about it at the press conference, if I remember correctly. So what do you make of the whole Lane Kiffin sign stealing situation?
I mean, Lane Kiffin loves to stir the pot, poke and prod. I'm sure he said it and then just sat. You know, some coaches maybe say it and then later they're like, did I say too much? I'm sure he said it and then sat back and just wanted to watch everything burn. You know, like I think he thinks he's hilarious when he does stuff like that. And I think Brent has done a good job of brushing it off. Not the first coach to make little comments like that in regards to Venables. I know that Ryan Day said it years ago when Venables was still at Clemson at the time. But I think it's interesting. I think it really bothered a lot of OU fans that he put that out there, and I understand why, but also that's why he put that out there. It was because he wanted to get a rise out of everyone, get some distraction going on this week.
Yeah. Venables said he took it as a compliment, saying, I guess it means we're really good at preparing. He said, we jumped a route. Like it was a big deal. Like the play against Auburn that he referenced is like, we jumped a route. Like that doesn't happen. Yeah. But just for clarification, I think when people hear sign stealing, they think Connor Stallions and Michigan. What happened there was Connor Stallions was being sent, allegedly, to games of future opponents to sit in the stands and film with his phone zoomed in on the plays that are signaled in. This was before there was any helmet communication. You can't do that. What Lane Kiffin is saying is that Brent Venables and his staff are really good at watching game film or watching TV copy and figuring out either what the signs are or whatever and educating the defense up. There is nothing wrong with that. Everybody is trying to do that every week. Not just signs, because there is helmet communication now. But still, a quarterback has to signal to wide receivers, or a linebacker has to signal to defensive backs, what's the play we're in. So there is still some hand signals that are going on the field. But also you're studying, you know this, Chris, tendencies. What do they like to do on 1st and 10 or 3rd and short when the tight end is offset to the left, or when they got a guy in the slot, or when you see the tackle move with his left foot first? You're looking for everything you can to pick up on what play might be coming our way. And they have been and are excellent at that. It is a staple of Brent Venables and the preparation he does with the defense, all of which is perfectly legal and above board. But when you hear sign stealing, everybody goes, cheating. Somebody cheating must be going. Nobody is sending anybody to future opponents' games and sitting there in the stands and recording them with their phones.
I thought I heard somebody in the tunnel banging a trash can at the last OU game. Are you sure that's not?
Houston Astros. Yeah, Houston Astros. Okay, let's talk about the presser on Tuesday. What jumped out at you from what Ben Arbuckle or Brent Venables had to say?
I didn't think there was anything too exciting going on. Obviously, a lot of respect for Ole Miss and the program that they've become once again since Lane Kiffin took over, and especially Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss are synonymous with explosive offense. Big plays, they rack up the yards, they rack up the points. And so that's the big storyline coming in. OU's, one of the top, if not the top defense in the country. Ole Miss is one of, if not the best offense, at least the most explosive in the country. Something's got to give this week. What's it going to be? How do you make that happen?
Interesting quarterback coming to town. Trinidad Chambliss wasn't supposed to be Ole Miss's quarterback this year. He was the backup, but when he got a shot, he was great early in the season. After a little bit of an injury, he got a shot and just hasn't given it back. We've got a Wally Pipp situation going on here for my old baseball fans in the audience. And Chris, I don't know how much you've had a chance to watch Trinidad Chambliss this year. Brent was asked about him on Tuesday, but he's been fantastic. Dual threat guy who really is a good passer.
Yeah, and a winner. His story is awesome, Toby. It's not just a backup quarterback gimmick. He played at Ferris State beforehand, led them to a national championship in Division II. They beat UCO in the playoffs and hung 78 points on the board with him at quarterback. And you remember, I covered that UCO team last year.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal. They were excellent. 78 points on the way to a national championship. Decides to leave for his final year of eligibility, goes somewhere to be the backup quarterback, gets his chance, and doesn't look back. They put points on the board. I thought in the fourth quarter against Georgia just this past weekend, he kind of got outplayed by Georgia's quarterback. I know that Georgia tends to turn it on in those big situations. But yeah, just excellent talent, unbelievable story, a guy that you want to root for and you want to see succeed. Maybe not this week, but others. So this will be fun. A guy like that coming to town, and then obviously OU's defense, biggest test of the season for them. Definitely that they'll have faced up to this point. Probably that they'll face at any point.
Yeah, I think I might agree with that. It's certainly the best passing attack that Oklahoma has faced so far this year. Better than Michigan, better than Auburn, better than South Carolina. This is a really good passing attack. I would say, you'd be tempted to say, you've got a youngster here who played at a lower level last year. Brent Venables might be able to confuse what he's looking at in the secondary. But they just played Georgia last week. So you feel like, and I think Oklahoma's defense is better than Georgia's this year, but Georgia threw a lot at him too. So that'll be interesting to see if Oklahoma can do a good job slowing down Kawan Lacey and the Ole Miss rushing attack, which they've done so far this year. Can they confuse Trinidad Chambliss? He can run. He's athletic. So what a battle, between a really good offense and a really good defense, between Lane Kiffin and Brent Venables. Like Lane Kiffin's offense, Brent Venables' defense, head-to-head is marquee matchup type stuff. So I'm super excited about this. We'll continue our breakdown. Hold that thought.
Brahms Banana Fudge Sundae gives a whole new meaning to decadent taste. 2 creamy scoops of premium vanilla ice cream overflowing with delicious hot fudge and fresh slices of banana to create the perfect balance between the fruity banana flavor and rich hot fudge. Treat yourself to a banana fudge sundae at Brahms, where every spoonful is pure bliss.
All right, Chris, I can see you're itching to get a thought out there. Go ahead.
I was holding it, but it's back. I still have it.
Okay, good.
The way Lane Kiffin talked about Brent Venables and the defense, outside of the signal film and all that kind of stuff, he was like, he said that Brent Venables calls his defenses like a lot of great offensive coordinators call an offense, where when they start to get up on you, he looks for the kill shot. The foot goes heavier on the gas. There's no slowing down. The longer the game goes on, the more they suffocate you. It's not that the defense gives late in the game. They suffocate more. And we see that. We see the sacks in the fourth quarter. We see the way that defense gets more aggressive, more dangerous. But it's just fun, the respect Lane has for the way Brent Venables, not only the defense, not only the dudes on the defense, but that mentality. And actually, Arbuckle was talking about that as well in the press conference Tuesday, about how he watches the OU defensive practice film because he loves the way they practice. And he will bring in his offensive players to watch the defensive practice film to say, look at the edge, look at the attitude, look at the effort that this group, it's no coincidence, they're number one in the country. This is the type of thing you have to do. That's fun. That's special to see.
Yeah, I got a follow-up thought on that. But before we do, if you're watching this and you enjoy our 3 times a week OU Update podcast, please right now, go to the thumbs up and like us. And then
You almost forgot.
Some of you out there who think you've subscribed, but you haven't. So please double check right now. Go subscribe. We're on a rocket launch, and we need you to help keep us going in the right direction here. So it means a lot. Please do so. I was fascinated. I think Brent Venables' favorite question at the press conference Tuesday, I believe it was Jenny Carlson that asked him about his preparation, how he gets ready for an offense, how he tries to prepare his defense from week to week. I don't know if she was hoping he would allude to the Lane Kiffin remarks or whatever, but he kind of lit up when he was asked that question and talked about everything that goes into dicing up game film, installing a game plan, coming up with wrinkles, and how much he loves it, the time aspect of it, how there's only so much time in a day and everybody's got the same amount of time, and who can be better at efficiency and time management in the course of a week. You can tell how much this guy loves coaching football. Yes. And it was a real good peek into the brain of what makes Brent Venables tick, I think.
Yeah, and it's that 4th and 1 at all times mentality. That's also what Arbuckle said. But Brent was like, you put that hourglass on the table, everyone has the same amount of time to prepare during the week. I also liked he talked about he coached under Stoops and Snyder, and both of them were excellent year-round preparation. You're always scouting your opponent, trying to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, it is preparation to the max. And something else that came out on the preparation edge, but on the other side of the ball, Toby, was that Giovanni Gibson, as he slowly gets closer and closer to what we feel like he could be as he gets back from injury, he chose to he asked Ben Arbuckle, can I sit next to you on the team plane to South Carolina to watch some extra film with you? Brent said that's abnormal. Arbuckle said it would be malpractice to coaching to not take him up on that, so extra hour and a half sitting on the plane. Every time they talk about Giovanni Gibson, it's something else to like about this kid and the way he approaches every single day.
He's coming on. He's coming on. He played well, had some big first down pickups at South Carolina. Lane Kiffin's an interesting storyline in this game, too. I don't know how many of those people watching remember the last time Lane Kiffin was on Owen Field. Do you remember, Chris, last time he was here? He was the head coach in Florida Atlantic when he brought the Owls here a few years ago.
Okay.
Oklahoma drubbed him on that day, and he ended up getting, obviously, the Ole Miss job from there. But there is tremendous swirling speculation that he may be headed to Florida. I don't think it's happening this week, but I do think it's happening. I think Florida wants Lane Kiffin, and I think Lane Kiffin wants to be the next head coach of the Florida Gators. He's got a playoff caliber team, though. He's definitely in the hunt right now. Ole Miss is for the college football playoff, so he's going to fight off those rumors as long as possible. But it's all the talk on Ole Miss Sports Radio, really across the SEC. It's going to be really interesting to see if that's a distraction or not this week.
Matt Rule at Nebraska just was going through this with the Penn State rumors right after they got rid of Franklin, and the Huskers absolutely laid an egg against Minnesota. So, I mean, it would be hard to make that not a distraction, Toby.
Yeah.
All the talk at all times. But also, Lane Kiffin is a guy who is always tweeting about whatever he wants and hot yoga and posting pictures with the young yoga instructors. So he, in his own, is a distraction. So maybe it won't affect him like it would affect a more traditional ball coach.
Yeah, maybe so. One other thing about this game is as much talk as there will be and is about Lane Kiffin's offense against Brent Venables' defense, there is another side of the ball in this game. And Ole Miss gave up yards on the ground to Georgia, running the football. Mm-hmm. It'll be very interesting and important, I think, to see if Oklahoma can follow up on a very good rushing day, probably their best of the year. I know numerically against some lesser opponents, they ran for more yards than they did for the 171 against South Carolina. But it was South Carolina on the road, an SEC game, their best rushing day of the year, in my opinion. Can they follow up on that and run the ball well again against Ole Miss? that'll be a key factor, in my opinion, in who wins this football game. You?
Yeah, and Toby, it's not just about total yards running the ball. Because 171 really isn't, you don't look at that and go, oh man, okay, they're coming on.
Right.
It's over 5 yards per carry for both Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock. And so it's being able to run the ball in situations that are going to keep the defense honest. So you're right, I'm not sure they're ripping off 250 rush yards this week, but I think you're right. A big key will be, can they hit the run in the right moments and enough that it opens more things up in the pass game? And then Arbuckle also said today something we've talked about, Toby, multiple times this season. He said, Mateer wants to put everything on his back, but he knows he doesn't have to, and he's getting better about, you know what? I just need to take care of my role, which is still a big role, but he's getting better at not feeling like he has to be a superhero out there.
And maybe one more week will get that thumb just a little bit healthier and you can rip it a little more down the field. We shall see. Chris will be at the game with me on Saturday. We'll have all kinds of reports for you afterwards and before the game. Look for them on News9.com and all of our social media platforms. Coming up here on Friday, I will be joined by the play-by-play voice of the Ole Miss Rebels, David Kellum. He's been around for, I want to say, 40 years as their voice. He is as Southern of a play-by-play voice as you've ever heard. Nicest guy in the world. You're going to love hearing from David Kellum. He's going to educate us all up on the challenge facing Oklahoma on Saturday morning. Chris, great job. We'll see you again soon. Thanks to you fine folks for watching. Do that right there. Go like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time here on Oklahoma's Own Sports.
I'm going to make a bell.
Thank you for watching this Oklahoma's Own digital studio stream. Stay with News 9, online and on television anytime for the latest news, weather, and sports.